Let's talk a little hockey with our guy from the Hockey News, a friend of the show, a friend of ours, man of class, David Dwork. Go follow him at David Dwork, one of the best out there covering your Florida Panthers. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. You look good, man. I would say, what would look better if you show up tonight to the press box in top hat and monocle.
Ooh. I don't own a top hat or monocle, but hearing you say that makes me feel like I need to have those options in my closet. So next time we do this, I may have to have a different answer for you because that sounds like a great look.
I think it would be. I
need the cane too, though.
You got to have a cane. You got to be gentlemanly because that's how the Panthers are going to do this thing tonight to the Boston Bruins. What have you made of all of the shenanigans that have accompanied the ass kickings the Panthers have put on the Bruins?
Well, I think it's been fun. Obviously, when you have it looking at it from a Panthers perspective and you're up 3-1 after going through all that, then obviously you're going to be feeling pretty good about it. But no, I mean, it's been a great playoff series. Obviously, the physicality has been, really turned up a notch. And it's shown that the Panthers have been learning from, their trials and tribulations over the last couple of years. They're a mature team. They're not getting dragged into any of this extracurricular activity. They're very focused on winning in the task at hand. And so far, it's been a success.
David, it's one thing to be physical, and it's another thing to try to be physical. The Panthers are a physical hockey team, and the Bruins thought they were physical, and they tried to match it, and they get in trouble. Like at some point, they got to get over it, right? At some point, they have to get over all this and try to win a hockey game, and they're just so caught up in trying to be more physical than the Panthers that it's going to be the end of them.
Yeah, well, that'll happen, I guess, in a playoff series because I think, Boston last year, you guys remember, best team in the league, historically good. They were in this situation. They were up 3-1 heading home after winning 2 on the road. And then Florida, they haven't lost to them in the playoffs since. Except game 1, I guess. But that's 6-1, 7-1 run, 3 straight this year. This is a Panthers team, Leroy. We've talked about it before, that they've been building toward this all year. And last year, too, they were built to perform well in the playoffs. Now they show up, they basically flip their switch. They turn on what they've been doing all year. Boston, I'm sure that they felt confident. I'm sure they felt they had a really good team, but this Panthers team is a machine right now. They're coming at you with 4 lines. They're going to hit you hard no matter who's on the ice. They're going to take away your time and space. They're going to defend as a 5-man unit, and they're really hard to play against. And now we're seeing, as the cat makes an appearance again, now we're seeing the fruits of their labors. And it's cool that it's working out for them to this point. Hopefully, for their, considering all the work they've put in, that they can finish the job. But it's certainly, to this point at least, it seems to be like every piece of hard work they've put in over the last 2 years is paying off.
What would you say about the level of play right now that Barkov is putting out there on the ice? Because that game winner was sick.
Oh my God, Barkov right now is at another level. Really, since the end of the Tampa series, I think he had 2 goals in it. It was his first multi-goal playoff game. It was his first 3-point playoff game. Now he's done it again since then. He is on another level right now. And I'm trying to remember who I was talking with this about the other day, but I think this is why Barkov kind of always has that underrated moniker attached to him, because when he goes out and he does what we've seen him do for the last few games, and you see what this man is capable of when he turns on his offensive light switch and he just goes and has that nose for the net, he's unstoppable. He's unbelievable with the puck. The way that he can control it, go through players, and then score. Barkov is at another level right now. If he continues to play like this for the next 2 weeks, month, whatever, that's just going to be a huge benefit to the Panthers, because when Barkov, when he sees red, when he flips that switch and he gets that little Ovechkin gene going in him, he's a dangerous man on the ice.
You feel like anything has flipped for him, maybe because the mentality of the team has changed at all? Because I do feel like he's had critiques in other postseasons that he hasn't been like, I know he's never going to be the goal scorer. Maybe he could be if he was a greedy pig and wanted to go score all the goals that his talent would equate. But have you seen a mind shift, a mindset change in him at all?
I think this season it's just been more of, he came to be more physical. He had more hits this season than ever in his career. I think almost double. He showed up this season ready to adapt and really accept what the Panthers were trying to do as a team. And he's, always been that quiet, lead by example kind of guy. So when he showed up for the playoffs this year, especially I think during the Tampa series, he found it a little bit hard to get his time and space. He won a couple of games without really producing much. And then something as you just said, something flicked in his head. And now he's been this like Tasmanian devil on the ice. He's hitting everybody. He's leading the team in hits some games. And then he goes out there and he's scoring amazing game-winning goals. He's getting all the assists. He's doing everything basically that you could ask for him, playing great on penalty kill, power play. This is maybe the best he's played in his career, what we're seeing right now. And I do think that Paul Maurice and his staff have a big part of that because they helped him kind of switch his mindset into his game and turn him into this physical, fast guy that he showed up this year playing like. And now we're seeing what's happening on the ice, and it's been amazing watching him during the playoffs.
We never thought we'd say that, right? Barkov is being physical. Right? It's just certain guys, right? Certain guys, like you see them so much during their career, you don't think they have it in them. And for some reason, kudos to that coaching staff, man, because
it's always the quiet ones.
When they took over, we were like, I don't know. And he's like very patient, like down 2-0 after the first period. He goes, I like where we are. I like where we are. He's very calm and I think it's great because if you're going to play that physical, you need to have a team that's also composed. And that's the one thing that he has praised his team about. We're physical, yet we're composed. We don't have stupid penalties. And you watch this and you're like, wow, every other team literally flips out trying to play the brand of hockey that the Panthers are playing.
And you saw it last series against Tampa, right? Florida gave up twice as many power plays as they had. Now they play this Boston series where Boston is out there headhunting. They're looking for revenge. They're looking for retribution. They're, whatever they're doing. And Florida's taken half as many penalty. I think it's like 21-9 or something. The power plays this series are in favor of the Panthers. And that was the exact opposite of what we saw coming into the series. And I think to your point, Leroy, that's because the Panthers have been able to keep their level heads, focus on the task at hand, and not really get skewed from that. And, look what's happening.
As Bob says, forecast.
Or, as we say, rent-free.
Rent-free, dude.
Rent-free.
As a man who has played between the pipes yourself, what did you make of the controversial Sam Bennett play? Did you feel like in that moment it was going to get taken off and all the fallout that has happened since? What did you make of the one that equaled up that game?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you specifying which Sam Bennett play you're talking about because there have been a few this series up for scrutiny. But actually, Tobin, I'll kind of give you the play-by-play that I was going through when I watched that. Because when I first saw it, I first saw the replay. I'm like, oh, there's no way this counts. He just trucked the guy into the goalie. Then after watching it a few more times, I started to come around. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this will count because the call on the ice is always key, as you guys know. That's always kind of the starting point. But just watching the replay, you can see that while he hit him, he didn't really credit to the Bruins player. I think it was Carlo. I don't remember who it was. Credit to him for trying not to hit his goalie, for coming from a goaltender. As he got pushed, you could see his arms spread out, his kind of feet dug in. He did not want to hit his goalie. And I think that's part of why the goal counted, because there was never really any major contact with Swayman. He never didn't have a chance to play his position. If you watch right before Bennett shoots, Swayman's right pad kicks out, which tells you that he's not going to have strength, even if there's nobody there to push off and shoot at Bennett in that moment. So watching the mechanics of how it played out, I don't think that even if there wasn't a player there, he would have been able to get over to make that save, which is why I think the league let the goal stand, because they knew that even though there was a hit, it didn't impact the play. It didn't stop what was going to happen. As I was watching it play out in real time, I'm like, you know what, this is probably going to count, because I think that as long as it was taking, and when you just watch the contact between the Bruins player and the goaltender, it just wasn't enough there. There's barely anything there, as violent of a play as it looked. So I think that the league got that call right.
Yeah, I found it weird because one of the things that they said was he shouldn't even been skating there.
Well,
right? Why are you skating in your own, why are you skating? Why was he skating there anyway?
That's a product of the Panthers power play and all their motion, because that gets guys in the other team. Like when you're defending a power play, you want to stay positionally sound. You don't want to open up passing lanes. You don't want guys moving around you. Florida, they do such a good job of moving their players and circling and, fluid, I'm totally missing the word here, but moving around the zone the way that they do, it gets the defenders to move out of their positions. That's why Sam Reinhart was able to get so many goals from basically standing in the same spot, because everybody else around him is moving. Reinhart's moving a few feet this way, a few feet that way, and suddenly you open up just enough space to make these holes. And I think that was, another thing of what happened on that goal is that Boston had three guys right on top of their goal crease. Florida made a nice little play. I'm trying to remember who it was that made the pass over to Sam. I believe it was Anton Lindell. or Eetu Luostarinen. Somebody was right in front of the goal, made that little backhand pass over to Bennett. And yeah, I mean, that's just Florida's power play. And it's been the story of the series, guys, is the special teams. Florida's been great shorthanded, and their power play has come through a few times. They had that 4-goal power play game in Game 3 in Boston. So that's really been the story.
It has been tough. I imagine it's going to be tough to feel as desperate as Boston is today, even though there may be an element of us thinking they're a broken team. But how important do you feel like it is that the Panthers do close this out tonight? Because obviously they were on the other end of coming back from 3-1 last year.
Mhm.
We're seeing what's happened in the other semifinal series with Carolina and New York. That's extending. So just how important do you think it is just the Panthers to absolutely close this puppy out tonight in their barn?
Yeah, I think, obviously a team with Boston's pedigree, a team that has the championship guys that Boston has still on their team, you don't want to give them any kind of hope or life in any situation. But honestly, this Panthers team is just so built for this. This is what they've been playing for. This is what they've been mentally preparing for, that even if Boston comes out and plays their best game of the season tonight, it's not like you have to be overly concerned. Like, oh no, we're going back to Boston. All the Panthers have done is won 4 straight in Boston in the playoffs over the last 2 seasons, going back to last year. While obviously you never want to give a team hope and momentum and any of that in the playoffs, this Panthers team is just built a little bit different. And I'm happy to see them go through those kind of tests because they continue to pass them. And it's been really fun to watch them kind of deal with adversity, overcome it, and move on. So while, you want to close Boston out, you don't want to give them anything, I wouldn't be overly concerned that the Panthers would be freaking out if they don't win tonight.
Who is banging the drum? Who you got? We've had one.
Man, that's such a good question. They've had such rant. Why aren't you banging the drum? Why haven't you guys been invited to bang the drum? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question. I would love to bang the drum.
I'd like to see Leroy up there just giving it like a nice little "Let's go Panthers."
Anytime they want us to bang the drum, I will be there to bang the drum. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would love. I love this idea of just continuing to have celebrity drum bangers. Makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, we've had ex-Marlins, we've had Dolphins players. Where's Dwayne Wade? Where's Shaq? Where are the Heat legends?
They had Gogi.
Yeah, you know what? And the Panthers played really well that night too. So there we go.
Because Gogi probably knew all the hockey players. They're from the same region, right?
They're Slovenian soccer hockey players.
Region. I didn't say Slovenia. Region.
Yeah.
I think you just made all of Europe that region. Like, what
No,
are you
I
doing
didn't.
there? I think you did.
I was told there'd be no geography on this test.
No, dude, let me tell you something. Every day, our mouths back our ass into a corner. Every day. So this is nothing new. Wait, Brooks Koepka.
Has Brooks
Can
Koepka
he
banged
bang
the drum
him
yet?
with one hand and then go?
I think he was there. I think he
coach.
was there in the final or in the Eastern Conference final. I think Brooks did. But remember, like last year, didn't they have Marino at one point banging the
They
drum?
busted out Marino. I
For
understand.
the finals, though. You got to bring out Hall of Famers come out.
You know who needs to do it? And the Panthers wouldn't lose another game? Pat Riley. Get Pat up there. Bang. All he would have to do is touch the drum one time, and the Panthers will never lose again.
Wait, if Pat Riley did it, all of Sunrise would go ballistic.
I feel like Pat Riley's probably he's probably in Malibu already. I don't know if Pat Riley's showing up either. I don't know. What about Spo?
He'll do it on Zoom.
Spo do it.
Did Spo do it? Spo hasn't done it.
No, Spo hasn't done it. I feel like Spo's got his own stuff going on now that the season's over.
UD's done it.
I think Spo's probably off. He's probably still watching like some Nets game from this year, like a maniac.
Come on.
What about any Panthers legend they could bring out that would get the crowd going a little nuts?
Well, the problem is a lot of them are like employed by other teams, so there'd be like a conflict of think of like Scott Mellenby or Tom Fitzgerald or like those guys they all have jobs, so it'd be tough. Maybe bring back Doug McClain, the coach from '96. I think he's available. That'd be a cool thing.
Wait, you say he's available?
Well, no, he hasn't been coaching for a while. And I don't think he works. I think that is behind him in terms of his career. So I didn't mean that to come off as an insult.
Right.
I'm just thinking in terms of guys who aren't still actively
working for somebody else or right.
Yeah, for sure.
How about one of the Bure brothers?
If you want to find, I think Valerie Bure you could probably find because he's like a family man. He's married to the girl from Full House.
Burgess.
Yes, Candace Cameron. Yeah.
I've actually met her years ago because she was friends with Eric Metcalf we played in Seattle, and she came to one of our games, which was like crazy.
All
I met
right,
her
buddy.
once at a restaurant. I was chasing autographs with my wife like 20 years ago, and she was there with Val Burre when he played for the Panthers. That's my story.
Buddy, enjoy the game tonight. You'll be boots on the ice. Go follow at David Dwork, his great work at the Hockey News. Always appreciate him. Watch him and Roy with the hockey show as well. They do a great job there. Appreciate the time, buddy. Take care.
Thanks,
Be
David.
well, fellas. See you next time.